It's this thing, don't be that this space in my life. Hold on.
Ain't nobody told you to be tall. Okay.
I told you to be tall.
Oh, yeah, this is a story. We always be clicking heads, man. Even when we hug, we click heads. Okay. This picture.
Wow.
It's okay. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house.
Well, no.
Make sure you tune in. Tap on the little. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V. Okay. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I'm bumping heads, but anyway, this topic tonight is the 5 stages of a man's life. We're talking about 4 and 5: a grown man and a mature man. Tap in.
Tap in.
What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I'm bumping heads, but anyway, this topic tonight is the 5 stages of a man's life. We're talking about 4 and 5. Mature man. Tap in. Okay. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I'm bumping heads, but anyway, this topic tonight is the 5 stages of a man's life. We're talking about 4 and 5: a grown man and a mature man. Tap in. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I'm bumping heads, but anyway, this topic tonight is the 5 stages of a man's life. We're talking about 4 and 5. No. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. Oh, it's gonna go there. Anyway, this topic tonight is the 5 stages of a man's life. We're talking about a 4 and 5: a grown man and a mature man. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. And it's like my mouth. Right? But damn. In the house. Damn. It's already posted and it didn't go onto my what you call it. Let's go. Damn it. I'm so mad. What? We got to save video. For Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I'm sorry. I used to shoot like you need to go. What's up?
It's 8:14.
I know. Okay. Gino in. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's still going like this at my mouth.
What you mean?
The arrow. Look. This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I don't have to keep to be staring in my mouth. Stages of a man's life. We're talking about 4 and 5: a grown man and a mature man. Tap in. Damn. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I'm bumping heads, but anyway, this topic tonight is the 5 stages of a man's life. We're talking about 4 and 5: a grown man and a mature man. Tap in. Okay, there you go. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got Gino in the house. I'm bumping heads, but anyway, this topic tonight is the 5 stages of a man's life. We're talking about 4 and 5: a grown man and a mature man. Tap in. Okay. What? All right, let's go. I'm going live. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
It's weekend.
All right, the iPad's live.
Okay, the iPad's live. We're live. Let's get a couple of people in the room. We'll go ahead and start. I probably should have did this first, you know what I mean, and waited for people to get in the room and do that at the same time. But wasn't really thinking, it happens sometimes. I'll know next time to go live. Show me doing that. Yeah, I could have did that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I got G. So I'm gonna send it to all my peoples. Boom, 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 and send it to all my peoples. She gonna send it to her peoples, and then my peoples mess with your peoples, and we all be with peoples.
All be with people.
Yeah, we all be with people. Just saying, you know, and we'll just get this all together. Just go ahead and share it to all my men that be looking out for us. For real?
The pause is past.
What?
All my men.
Right.
Sweet black stagger. Then I don't know. What's up, Caleb? Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I think I sent it to everybody. I need to send this up. Let's get 5 stages of a man's life. Grown man versus mature man. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. All right. We live on Instagram too.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, what does that mean?
I was asking.
Oh, well, yeah, I can see it. I press play on all the same devices.
All right. Yeah. All right. So go ahead. Let's go ahead and start. Okay. Go ahead and start. Go ahead and start.
Hey, nephew. I'm in the background. You can't see me, but hello.
But we can hear you.
I know.
But I was about to push.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right. Push and record. As the word says in Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is the principal things, therefore get wisdom. And all you're getting, get understanding. So let's get understanding. Welcome to Logic Over Emotions, a platform for men to
Get an understanding.
To speak freely and for women to finally listen.
Yes, finally.
God, when who's gonna finally listen? We get a little bit different when we practice.
But anyway, yes, this is a platform for men to freely speak and women to finally listen. So yes, we're here for men to finally listen. I am your host, Toya V.
I'm your girl, Bree Badu.
And the man of the hour is who?
It's your boy Gino.
Yes, Gino the poet is in the building. So he was here like 2 weeks ago. We did 5 stages of a man's life. And we're going to go ahead and listen to the topic. But tonight's focus is on part 4 and part 5, a grown man and a mature man.
5 stages in a man's life. And these stages are around attention, love, maturity. So stage 1 is a baby. A baby cries for attention and love because that's the only thing they know how to do. Stage 2 is a youth. They yearn for attention and love, right? Still not mature. Stage 3 is a young male. They act out for attention based on emotions. They react instead of respond. They're only focused on what they want, what they need, and they're not concerned with anybody else's feelings. Stage 4, this good, grown man. He gives attention and love. Asterisk. It's conditional. Only when he feels like he's receiving something in return. So if we stage 4 and we like, I'm a grown man, like, and I'm justified because she didn't do this, I'm not going to do that because I ain't got nothing to measure it against. But if you know now, there's another level. There's a stage 5. Stage 5 is a mature man. He is love. He is attention. He is super self-aware. And he gives it unconditional. That's a proof. So no matter how many times my son been in jail, that's love. I'm love. There are 5 stages in a man's life.
All right. So let's give it. I'm so happy that you're back that I can't. I'm speechless. Because because remember, like back in the day, we used to do logic over emotions. That it used to have a different meaning to it. But now it's just all about you men. And so topic 4, or I should say stage 4, is about the grown man that he basically loves with conditions. So what's your viewpoints on that?
Yeah, I think this is important because as we are as men growing and maturing, we get to a point where it becomes, hey, we're expecting something.
Right.
We got something to give. We start to become aware of our own worth, our own value, and we gonna give it, but we have some demands that could be potentially associated with it. It's conditional love is not where you ever really want to be. Because unfortunately, when you are in that position where love is conditional, then it's weaponized.
Right.
And that's where you turn down in my headphones.
Go ahead.
I can't hear myself anymore now. But whenever you're in a position where love is weaponized, and it's so funny because a lot of times we think about this from the standpoint of relationships. He used the example, well, if you don't do something for me, then maybe I don't give it. But in that stage where love, you see it as something that I give because you gave me something, where it's a medium of exchange. You see how that really is disruptive across all relationships. I can think about, shout out to my dad. I love my dad.
What's up, Pops?
But I can think about when I was younger. One of the things, if I got in trouble, one of the things my dad would do is he wasn't the kind of father who like beat you or did any of those things. He would stop talking to me.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like if I got in trouble, I would have the conversation, he'd have a conversation with me. And then for the next couple of days, it was like cold. And, that for me felt worse. That was like the worst punishment ever. That disconnection, that feeling like I couldn't be connected because I didn't do something the correct way. And that's sometimes how that conditional love shows up, in that, if you don't do something the way that I want you to do it, then I'm not going to share it with you. And that's
Right.
That's a form of control. That's
a form of abuse.
It is. It definitely can be a form of emotional abuse. And that's to me, that's why I think his point, as we kind of listen to it, was that you have to realize that there's another stage of love. Because what will happen when you love like that, you'll start doling it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you did something, I'm like, oh, you give that energy out.
Do you get extra attention if you do something right? Some feel like, because if you do something wrong, you don't get as much or none at all. So like, what's the opposite part of that?
And that's I think where it gets challenging, Brie. I'm saying, like, what is that about? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it leaves the person on the other end literally walking on eggshells.
Right.
Where you're just trying to say, is that enough? Is that enough? Is that enough? And that's never what love should be. And
Right.
here's what I think the trick is on the other side of it for the person who operates in that. You start to check off the boxes, and it's like, well, see, I did give you love. I am showing you
Right.
that I care. And if you can't show it back,
right,
then maybe I should.
Right.
You was gonna say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, do you feel like that's where most men are right now in the dating world? Is a lot of conditional love right now.
I think that's where a lot of people are. Period.
Period.
And I think that's the challenge. We understand that love should be given,
Mhm.
but I don't know how to for it.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? I think we're doing a lot of saying and doing the things that sound good,
Mhm.
but as it relates to actually knowing how to love and knowing how to give it, I don't know that that's being done by a lot of people. I think though, because I don't want to stop to kind of feel like we're all damned, because I
Mhm.
don't think that's the case. I think the awareness now that there's a shift that needs to happen just in all of us in our minds, not
Yeah.
just men, but women, period. Like, hey, what we've been doing ain't been working.
Yeah, and I think like just piggybacking off what you said, like when people aren't able to, they don't know how to give love, that in return makes people not know how to receive it. Like if I don't know how to give it, then I definitely don't know how to receive it.
Right.
You know? So I think like you said, like if there is a shift that needs to happen so that we all learn how to know what this love looks like, this period.
Right.
And I think that's maybe that's what we are all looking for when we are in that place of where love is conditional. It's trying to really understand, you know what I'm saying, how I get it back. Or it's a place to when you're giving love conditionally, it's because you are unsure
Mhm.
that you are being loved or can be loved the way that you want to be.
Mhm.
And so you are trying to hold the person hostage to force them to give you what it is that you want to feel, instead of trusting that love begets love. And that's really the whole point.
Yeah.
Right.
We have Crown Chief in the comments. Hello. He says that men love unconditionally, but the love that they receive tends to be conditional. What you think of that?
I think there's a lot in that statement. I think men have more of the capacity to love unconditionally in the culture that we live in. And I
Explain.
well,
In the culture.
in the culture that we live in right now, it is from the standpoint of women. Hey, if you are in danger, if you are emotionally unsafe, it is the responsibility of the male or
Mhm.
masculine energy that you are with
Mhm.
to protect you,
Mhm.
even almost at his own detriment. So we get into a conversation and I'm giving you a truth, and that truth makes you feel um, like your feelings are hurt or whatever. The expectation in those instances is that, well, I need you to shift and go ahead and protect me and tell me that I'm okay. And, you know, don't don't tell me that what I'm saying isn't facts, because then that's invalidating how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And so now the expectation is that, well, a man is going to have to be emotionally intelligent enough to say, hey, well, you know what? Sure, what you are saying or how you are feeling from that perspective, that's absolutely a valid feeling.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So men are constantly having to make these emotional shifts in order to just create what's considered to be a safe environment.
Mhm.
That kind of emotional intelligence isn't expected
Right.
from women. Not that they don't have it, but it's just not expected. in the culture that we live. You guys are able to, women are able to just kind of emote freely and go off the handle if you wanted to, or however. And then it's like, well, that's just me being me. But if a man does these things, then there's a greater level of detriment, right?
Right.
So with those things and him having to consider that, it makes his considerations and his ability to love being unconditional, because now I just have to be willing to give passes.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I am trained to just give emotional passes, to even forego my own emotional needs at time, or not even acknowledge them, that I have them, in order to be in love. And that can be a bit more challenging for men. But here's the other side of that, because I said that to say I understand it. I don't know that we are all there. Honestly, just from a maturity standpoint, we just because you're taking a lot of stuff on the chin, as a man, doesn't mean that you are loving unconditionally. That's not what love is.
That's a
And
word.
sometimes we're finding ourselves in passive aggressive moments, and really, really living unfulfilled, and living tortured lives, in some instances. And it ain't about love. And then on the other side of that, a lot of us are still doing that thing where we're saying, if you don't love me like I want to be loved, then I'm going to change the way that I handle.
Right.
We are saying we are there sometimes, but we really are.
So just because like you stay, or like because you're present, it doesn't mean that you're loving this person, your partner, unconditionally. It just means that you're there.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, absolutely. I had to realize I was giving grace that I wasn't saying I was giving. And so if I'm giving you grace, and you don't know that I'm giving you grace, then first of all, I'm not benefiting you, nor am I benefiting myself. And really, I'm just secretly piling up the deck, right, of discontent, until finally you've gotten on my nerves.
Right.
But that's not how you love. See, love sometimes is saying, hey, I'm not happy.
Right.
This is what I want, and I'm not receiving that. And the love is the free communication, because what I am expecting is that through this communication, we can find our middle ground, our happy place between the two of us. But if I haven't even matured enough to be able to communicate my own happiness, to say to myself,
Right.
I'm not happy here, then I'm just saying I'm really just ignoring what's going on. I'm not giving grace.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Okay, so when we talk about conditional love, where do you think a man gets that from? Like when he goes from that young man to that grown man, like do you think that's because society is saying like, hey, don't do, because we have the red pill guys now, and they're still going on, you know what I mean? Do you feel like that's something that society is teaching men, like if she don't do nothing for you, you do nothing for me? Or do you think this is like the people that you hang around in this area when you become a grown man and you decide that you want to give love conditionally? Like, where does that come from? Or I would say, where does that come from, or where do you think it stems from? I think that would be a better way for me to ask that question. Like, where in a man's life do you think he gets that thought process of, if she don't love me this way, I ain't gonna love her that way, or whatever?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. Love comes from completion.
Okay.
Love, the feeling of love is a feeling of wholeness. you know it when you've had it. That sense of wholeness is just something that has been broken up for families for the past several generations in a lot of different ways. Dad's not being there, mom's not being there. And so that balance of both parents, both masculine and feminine energy for a lot of people hasn't been there. And so in that that's where that feeling of that sense of safety, security, wholeness comes from, that allows you the balance to ultimately not be selfish. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're talking about. When you're talking about um, loving conditionally, it's really it's really not being able to see past yourself and your own needs. And you're not able to see past yourself and your own needs because you've never felt a place where they were fully taken care of. And that just can come from a lot of different deficiencies. So where does a person get the sense to love maturely?
Mm-hmm.
I think ultimately that comes when you find God for real.
I like to give things. Oh, it didn't ding.
If I say it's where
So where you find where it's at to get so God. All right. So now that we got to that point, let's talk about stage 5, a mature man, because I believe you have accomplished that. Because I see it in the way that you walk, with the way that you conduct yourself. So let's go from there. You said that you believe that men can get to this is one of the ways they can get there is having their own relationship with God, correct?
Absolutely.
And so expand more on level 5 of a mature man.
Well, God is love, period. So there is no way to know love truly without knowing God.
Mm.
Now, to know love and to know God is also to truly know, my message didn't change, to truly know oneself.
right.
And so that journey of self-discovery is the same journey that takes you inwardly, where you find God, which is where God is for all of us, which is on the inside. And the more connected we become with the God that's on the inside of us, the more connected we become with love and the feeling of love and wholeness. And as we begin to experience and walk in that, then you have no choice but to express it.
All right.
It comes out of your pores. That's that last level where you're not loving because somebody else gave it to you. You're loving because you become love. That's the whole point. When you are filled with, when you know God for real, and you can see Him first of all.
Everything.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to pull the scripture in here. The scripture says, "Only the pure in heart shall see God." But when you become so pure in your heart that when you look in the mirror, you see God through yourself. You understand how God didn't just create you, but He created everything.
Right.
Now you see God in everything. You also see yourself in everything, and you love everything just like you love yourself. It's we are creatures who are meant to reflect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Again, not to preach too tough, but when you look at the Bible and the Bible says that we were created in His image, we were reflections. We are reflections of God. That's inherent in us to reflect. And so as we become love, then we just start to reflect that and see that in everything. Now you just love everything. You can love your brother, your sister, your wife, your spouse, your children, like you love yourself truly.
Okay. Do you think it's easier for men to get that way with their offsprings versus with a young lady?
I think it is.
Offsprings.
I, I think we are definitely meant to see ourselves in our offspring. One of the things that even as a kid, I talk about my dad, how much I love him. As a kid, I always said to my dad how I could always see myself, how I had made similar choices and decisions, whether good or bad. And and as I look at my children, I can see that how they reflect me. How they have literally taken pieces of me, my personality, my interests, things that I didn't necessarily give them. They just kind of, and through that, it draws me closer to them, but to that piece of me that in a large way seems either unnourished or I didn't get a chance to complete within myself.
Right.
So absolutely, it helps me to. They are literally the seed of me, and so it helps me to see and love myself and them even that much more.
Okay. Bree, you have anything?
No, chat is quiet. Coach Cotton just joined. She said, "Hey, hey." So, hey, girl, hey. Um, I do have a quick little message. This podcast is being sponsored by Patriot Soul, which is a faith-based company. They would like to remind you of Mark 22:37-39, to love God Almighty with all of your heart, soul, and mind, and to love thy neighbor as thyself.
Well, thank you to our sponsor,
Patriot Soul.
Yay! And if you want a commercial, if you want a shout out, just hit us up in the DMs. We got you. So back to the regular schedule program. So when do you feel like you got into a place of maturity?
That's a good question. I would say where I am has happened this new stage of maturity. Has really kind of culminated. So I'm 45 now. Just turned 45 in December. Has really culminated over the past couple of years, 3 years. I have just kind of been on my own
path.
Absolutely. Where I've been called for the past 3 years, just separated. I mean, hey, last time you saw me.
Yeah.
And that transition for me is really what springboarded me into what I would now say the understanding of agape love is. And I honestly enough, I think that's right in line with most men my age. So, I don't think that's unusual. And so for all my women out there, you may have to wait a little bit longer if you got some patience. If you ain't got
the man yet.
You crossed over to his 40s yet. And any man can tell you there's a different level of maturity that happens at each decade. I haven't, I haven't made it up there yet. So I'm excited to see where I go next. But for sure, it's happened at different stages.
So, so now that we have gotten to the mature stages of a man, what do you think are some of the things that activate that man to come to the realization that he needs to mature?
I was thinking of that, but I was trying to think of a way to word that, like, so it wouldn't sound crazy.
Yeah. It's funny though, because that was on my mind, and Will Smith. Shout out to Will Smith. Will Smith is one of my favorite people. And Will Smith oftentimes does a lot of motivational speaking, so on and so forth. He recently talked about a man reaching either cliff top or rock bottom. Oftentimes you hear rock bottom, but he's talked about cliff top or rock bottom being essentially the same space. And that for me is that space. And you can reach that at cliff top or rock bottom of I think maybe any level of emotion, but it basically is that place that equates a man with himself. And there's the saying, trouble acquaints a man with himself. It's that place where nothing else matters, where you feel the loneliest. It's that place where for a man, he gets and he realized that there is no there's no satisfaction, there's no answer, there's nothing else. That's
Yeah, like rock bottom.
Absolutely.
So like basically like a man to become like that transition from grown man to mature man, basically there's that you have to like kind of like lose that pride, lose that ego, which is to me in my perspective, rock bottom.
That's absolutely what it is. It's when you come face to face with yourself. And that's kind of, when I was going back earlier and I was talking about the grace that, we often fake give. You haven't come face to face with yourself. And it's unfortunate that if we stay there, if a man stays there, he never actually learns how to love. But not only does he never learn how to love, he never truly receives love and he never truly grows up. And we, a lot of times, are looking at 50, 60, 70-year-old men who's never grown up for whatever reason.
My friend calls them grown boys.
Yeah.
We have Ace Alpha. He commented and said that he's approaching 40 this month. So happy early birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday.
One of my great clients.
He says that maturity and epiphanies organically appear and hit different.
For sure. And that's why, like I said, I won't put it at an age. We are going to inherently have maturity spurts, with each relative decade, so to speak. But some of us, either, for better or worse, hit those stages where you have to come face to face with yourself sooner rather than later. Now, culturally, I mean, this was the stage of becoming a man. I mean, in other cultures, this happened at 13. And, seriously, that's when you think about your all your Jewish customs, that's what their what do you call them? Their bar mitzvahs. That's what they symbolize. At the age of 13, Jesus was off experiencing life. These are the times that in a perfect world, in a perfect world, you start to become aware of yourself. You become hyper aware, but you also become hyper aware of the gift of life that you have. And when the gift of life becomes real to you, then you can start to share. So a lot of us are still trying to figure life out. We haven't had the opportunity to figure life out. We still, you know what I'm saying? And
a lot of people don't see it until their 40s, figure their life out at 40.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, with men, would you say that like part of the reason that maybe you all are slower to that maturity level is because y'all don't talk? Like you kind of like to go through life on your own for the most part, like not reaching out by design.
Yeah, I think it's by design. I'm saying this you're a man when you're 18. Everything about how we do things is unnatural, in my opinion. And because it's unnatural, it puts young men from the get, for most of us, excuse me, uh, in a position where you're just performing and never really having the opportunity, especially for Black men, where you come out, 18, you saying I'm a man. How are you a man? 3 days ago, you were in high school. And now you've turned 18 and everybody says you're a man, and you are saying, because you've been told to say you're a man, right? And then, so now you just kind of hurry doing life and having life experiences and not really taking the time to develop emotionally. And so now you kind of learning as you go, that's fine. But the expectation that that person, that young man, isn't going to make emotional mishaps, that expectation is unrealistic.
Facts.
Yeah, anyone at any age isn't gonna make
You gotta dig that.
You know what I'm saying? I think we all have to realize that loving is an experience. We are learning to love as we are learning ourselves. And so as we have more experience with ourselves and with each other, we learn to express it a little bit better and a little bit more. It's just something we gotta work through, but we can't expect that we all have it. To your point about talking, I think we just all gotta talk, period. And we have to get to a point where we can say, I feel real vulnerable. And
Yeah.
I'm not okay.
I'm not okay.
But that's why I was asking, like, as far as like men are concerned, because like, with women, we can go to our friends and tell them about anything that we got going on for the most part, if you're really truly friends. But
Like, girl, I got fungus under my big toe.
you're right, you know what I'm saying? Like I just went to the OBGYN, and girl, she told me that, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have any like problems telling each other that. But like with men, like seems like y'all have like more of an issue, like just really, like you said, being vulnerable, like with each other. So I think that, like,
Here's something crazy.
yeah,
It's not so much with each other. We men, we talk to each other. We can't talk to y'all.
mm.
Oh my God. Let me get that.
I about to say, been like a ding. Let them get a ding.
God.
And,
Lying. That's like one of the reasons to understand men here.
Yeah.
Like,
so what happens is this, and this is the challenge. When you're talking about being vulnerable, the protector who is now vulnerable oftentimes gets looked at differently. The
Okay.
appreciation isn't there because, and I can understand it, and men understand it, right? If I'm the one who's supposed to be the wall, and then I'm saying today I have a chip in me, yeah, there's a crack in the wall. Everybody who's supposed to be protected by the wall starts going, oh my God, what are we going to do? There's a crack in the wall. Something can get in. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What a man is really trying to say is, hey, I'm weak here. If you can hold me up, I can be rebuilt, but I'm weak. But that statement and trying to find a way to say that without inciting extreme fear, or being the respect being diminished, is the challenge that we have, because there's not a lot of understanding, it seems, from women, that we don't have it all the time, and just the space to be okay with that.
Mhm.
so do you feel like the reason why, okay, because I'm trying to understand this. So basically what you're saying is, we'll use a relationship. We'll just use me and you by 10. So you're a man, you're being strong. And if I see you having an issue, I may not see you as a man anymore because I see that you're not as strong as before. And do you feel like that's the reason why some women throw that vulnerability back into men's face?
I think it happens. I do understand that, again, like I said earlier, we all mature at different levels. And I understand that the women who are in that space are also maybe immature or have some level of immaturity. But I think, yes, we see a lot of them for sure.
Child, y'all gotta do better. Y'all gotta do better, child. You gotta do better. Okay, so now we're at this maturity, right? I understand that you also help men get to that with
Right.
your business. So let me hear a little bit about that. Okay, let me go ahead and give you
Well, I operate what I'm going to call an ecosystem. So I'll say it that way. I operate a ministry, which is a nonprofit, and then I also operate two for-profit entities. The purpose of the ecosystem is to build and to sustain community. So within the building and sustaining of community, I offer financial literacy. I offer business consulting. We offer community development, those kinds of things. Specifically to men, we are offering these services, and how this helps is that it helps you create your plan.
right.
For a man, what helps us to love is to have that grounded sense of self, that sense of direction, that sense of purpose, and knowing how to provide, knowing that not only your generation, but your generations, behind you, your children's children, is going to be taken care of. That's what we provide. I am a strategist and an architect, and a lover of God and a servant of Christ. And so, with that, I provide these services for businesses, and also individuals who are looking to connect, and just build their network and net worth.
Okay, so how you have anything that you really want to like let people know about your movement? Your
Absolutely. So here's what I do, and I spoke about Christ. I speak about Christ from a non-religious standpoint, and you know me well enough to know how I operate. And here's where I'm going to get a bit more detailed. So when you understand that Christ was not the uh, flesh of Jesus. Christ was the embodiment. Jesus was the embodiment of Christ. And so, in that, when Jesus died, he left Christ for us to all. What we did not realize is that he also left the methodology to receive it. And that understanding of how to interact with Christ allows us to receive things like healing in our body, better mind clarity, emotional clarity, these things that we're talking about, to really understand how to love ourselves and to love one another. So those things are practical applications. When we look at the Bible, we see things like foot washing, and that's, hey, you do that to be humble. But we don't understand that, well, actually, foot washing, the purpose of that is because your toxins, parasites, these things are actually released through your feet. So it's not just about washing your feet, but it's about preparing your physical temple for what's going to happen on the inside, right? And so doing
Epsom salt, y'all. Go ahead.
Epsom salt, absolutely, because through the bottom of your feet, it actually absorbs things like the magnesium from the Epsom salt, right? Which is also good for you. So you're talking about doing things to prepare your body, to prepare you to live in a healthy and regulated state. These are practical things, practical ways to breathe. So these are things that I not only teach, but I also have written several books on. And the point of the books is really to explain how what we are reading in the Bible and what a lot of us are fighting from the standpoint of religion. It's not that religion is wrong. Religion, it took a portion of what Jesus was saying, the doctrine, of what they were saying, and it isolated that. But what the other people have done, science has taken, things about the body, things about the blood, things about the feet, we've made all of these fragmented doctrines, and Christ, Jesus, didn't break them up. He spoke about them holistically.
Right.
If you
Right.
remember, Jesus, he went and he stopped by the doctors. They taught him a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? So these are things that he learned and then applied. You use the scripture. You said, get wisdom, but in all you're getting,
Get
Understanding.
get understanding. See, here's what we did with the Bible. We got the wisdom, but we didn't get the understanding. We haven't gotten the things that the world took from the Bible. That's the understanding. So I just put it all together, make it a plan for a holistic view of how it is that we live healthy, live wealthy, and live wise. Okay. So you can actually find me on my website, www.focuslifeministries.org. Again, that's focuslifeministries.org.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Perfect.
Okay, so you talked about these books. What are the names of the books?
So the books are available for pre-order. You have The Keys to the Kingdom, You're Not Sick, and The Doctrine of Christ.
Okay, give me a synopsis. Quick synopsis.
So they
Keys of the Kingdom of the Keys of the Kingdom is based around.
So what it does is it kind of breaks down essentially what I just said.
Okay.
Yeah, but what it does is it breaks it down from the scriptural standpoint. Hey, this is what Jesus said.
Okay.
This is what he said. Nothing else, nothing more.
Read the red.
Right. Read the red so that you understand that this ain't, somebody trying to give you an opinion. Right.
Absolutely.
All right. From there, then we go to the keys to the kingdom. Now, based on what he said, and I will, this is Christ said, and I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. And what you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. What you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. But when you understand that this is earth and this is heaven, well, then you start to really dissect where the binding comes in and where the loosing comes in and how that applies physically to you.
Right.
How you can reap from the instructions that Christ has given. So it starts to break down what the actual jargon is. So the point was to decode what we have been looking at and saying, well, that sounds good. I mean, yay, and when I die. The thing is, Jesus was never talking about when you die.
Right.
None of his statements were ever about what's going to happen when you die. He was talking about life here.
Right.
And so it breaks that down. And that's going to be more so for an audience that's not as scripturally literate. So it's more for a broader audience. And then the You're Not Sick is just kind of a mentality and it also within the books, it gives you various breathing exercises. It explains what prayer is, how to pray, those specific postures, what they mean, how they're effective, why they're effective, so on and so forth. So it really makes our understanding of how to interact holistically from the mind, from the body, and from the spirit practical.
Okay. And the third book?
That was it.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're Not Sick.
You're Not Sick. Oh, yeah, you did. My bad.
Yeah.
And where can I find these books? Are they like on Amazon?
So so they are available on web. I'm sorry. They are available for pre-order on Amazon, but also on my website.
Okay. All right, y'all.
So are we ready for some
Yes,
questions?
we are.
So we know you came last time and we had to get some different questions, not to ask you the same
Okay,
thing.
okay.
And these pretty good, you know.
Hold on.
You ready?
I told you I ate right before I came. I feel the taste of onion, so I'm sorry.
I don't smell it.
Good.
That's
Thank
because
you.
it's gonna be stuck all in that mic. I have to take the little cover off and wash. No, just playing.
Man,
No, I don't smell it. You smell your upper lip. Stuck right there.
Make sure you wash your face real good when you get. All right. Question number 1. What part of your life needs more attention right now? Is it your purpose, your partner, or your peace? I told you. That's just number 1. You got
that
4 more.
was petty. That was petty.
I wish we had some hot wings.
What part needs more attention?
Your purpose, your partner, or your peace?
My partner.
Your partner.
And I'll leave it there.
I was about to say, care to share?
Nope.
All right. Number 2. What are you chasing that might be costing you more than it's giving you?
Oh,
I thought it's nasty. It's nasty. Came with that work.
This session kind of hard this time.
what am I chasing that may be costing me more than it's giving me? I will honestly say right now, nothing.
Okay.
I am extremely intentional in my efforts and my movements. And nothing that I am doing in this season has been by accident. And so because of it, nothing is a waste of time.
Preach.
I love that for you. So that definitely what you just said kind of ties into the next question. So what does winning look like for you in this season?
Winning for me looks like continuing because I am in, and I don't even. I was about to apologize for it. It looks like doing what I'm doing right now. Continuing. I'm in my winning season. That's for real.
Okay. If your child or future child watched how you live today, what lesson would they learn?
To continue. My children, up until this point, I talked about the last 3 years, me having to kind of really go in and do some inner work. Well, they felt that as well, and so I am excited to see my children watch the fruit of my labor and me turn around and say, this was all for you.
All right. And number 5, what's a boundary you had to learn the hard way?
What's a boundary that I had to learn the hard way? Mine. To learn my boundaries the hard way. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Giving grace, what I was really doing was allowing boundaries to be crossed, allowing my own feelings to be, my own will and desires to be forfeited, and doing the right things for the wrong reason. Sure, when you are loving, you make those adjustments, but I wasn't doing that. I was somehow, there was a feeling of self-righteousness and pride in my ability to give process that really was an unawareness of my own. I'm not cool with that. And I'm also not cool with saying I'm not cool with that. And that's a problem.
Right.
And so identifying my own boundaries was one of the hardest things.
Okay. All right.
So,
no, that was all my questions.
Okay.
You off the hook. You did good. You need a towel. Sweat beads off your forehead.
Something just moved my heart to ask this question because I've been listening to everything and I took everything in. And one thing that you said was people didn't know that they were given grace.
For sure.
Could you give me some examples of what that looked like?
I'm telling you, you got some questions today, huh?
Listen, I ate. And I took my medicine.
And Coach Cotton said we asking some awesome questions.
I know,
Thank you.
because like I said, when you put the Lord first, everything go right. Period. Anyway, you're not off the hook. Go ahead.
Examples of giving grace that people were unaware of. I don't know if this will be specific enough, but I'll try to utilize it. So I can be a very anal person, but I'm aware of that,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm totally aware because I observe everything. You know, I talk about my boundaries earlier, but really what happened is earlier on I became hyper aware of I like or don't like, I want or don't want.
Mhm.
And I probably became aware of that in the time and the place where I shouldn't have, you know, like when I was in my mama's house. And there's
And my mama's so sick.
So as you said, and my mama.
and you know, I've always been a strong-willed young man, and you know, my mama would, you know, say stuff, and if when I was a kid, if I didn't agree with it, it just
Like, no, don't sound right.
yeah. And so my mama ain't the kind of person who that was gonna work with. And so I quickly had to learn that I needed to keep myself to myself
Right.
sometimes. And in that habit, and in being particular, um, just in being with a partner, there were times where I'm particular about something and you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm going, well, I'm gonna just be particular, but you trying to do this, whether it's an act of service for me or what, for whatever reason you want to do, and I'm going, but you're not doing it the way I want you to do it. You're not doing it the way I want you to do it. You're not paying attention to the detail the way I want you to pay attention to the detail. And what I do is, or what I had done was just convince myself, well, it's okay. You know, they're not like you. So, you know, give a pass there. The truth of the matter is I was still irritated every time. But I'm saying, well, I'm giving a pass. No, the truth of the matter is, no, I need to say, hey, this, I don't like this way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to do this, I'm sorry, thank you. I don't like this way. And if you're going to do this, then it would be best if you're doing it for me,
Mm-hmm.
if it's done like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That communication, because I understood, could be a little rough.
Right.
Then
But if that person loved you, they would understand that it's from love and not.
absolutely. But you know what? And that's the point. See, that's where the fake grace comes in. And I had to admit to myself, I really did. I didn't want to have the conversation because I didn't want to have to plainly say, I don't like that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other thing is it's not really grace. Because after I say I don't like it,
Mm-hmm.
if you do it again, I got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm really trying to avoid is having a problem.
So you just let it go. And because you let it go, you break your own boundary.
Absolutely. And that's not fair.
To you.
Or them.
Yeah, Coach Cotton told me today, she said, in a like to sum it up, like you can't get mad at somebody about something if they don't know what they did wrong.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So if you done told them, hey, I don't like it this way, and they did it again, you govern yourself accordingly to whatever happens after you told that person that you was going to do something. So I enjoyed this session with you.
How always.
Yes.
Thank you, Tori.
I want to thank you. So make sure y'all go to www.focuslifeministries.org. You can hit up your boy Chino the Poet.
What up, though?
You go ahead and hit him up at Gino the Poet. Go ahead and give your info.
Again, you can reach me on Instagram. It's Gino, Geno, the Poet. I think I'm probably changing it. So not.
No, Gino the Poet. It's very easy to learn.
No.
You know. Oh, you know.
It's Gino.
It's Gino. Oh yeah. He's brand new. He's brand new.
Ironically enough, speaking of which, and I'm not going to change it. That's it. That I will come back around to it because I'm coming back to bring a lot of those things back around. So look for that as well. I've been in the studio lately. So
singing, rapping, what? Oh, singing. Oh, okay.
Because I heard you humming something when you was walking up in here, and I said, let me find out he can hold the note. And then you just told him yourself, okay.
Oh no, I sing.
Carry on.
But yeah, so Gino the Poet on IG, definitely focuslifeministries.org. You can also, for those who are looking for community opportunities, those kinds of things, you can reach us at the Smithsons, www.thesmithsons, SONS, group.com as well.
All right, Bree, let them know what I can do with you.
I'm Bree _Badu on IG, 1 E, not 2. We know you got to try to okay. And I'm on TikTok as well. I think it's the same thing, Bree _Badu. If it's not the underscore, it's just Bree Badu. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so make sure I am Toya V. This is Toya Victorious. You can follow me on there. Make sure you follow Logic Over Emotions Pod. We are trying to get to 1,000 followers so that we can go live on
Emotion Podcast.
Yeah, we are trying to go live there, but Instagram says that you have to have 1,000. So right now we're at the Toya V Show, but you can also watch live on YouTube. Just search at Logic Over Emotions Pod, and it will bring up our channel. Please also subscribe and comment because now they're really big on comments and likes. Yeah, just keep supporting us. We got more things to come. Men, if you have a topic that you feel like women don't understand about, or they need to get they need to know, get a more understanding of why men think this way, because this is that platform for y'all. It's that platform to give you a safe space to speak. Because I just have to let y'all know that 100 men die from suicide every day in the United States. That's more than 36,000 men every year, according to the CDC and Heads Up Guide. So it's time that we talk about it. It's time that we give men the space to speak and be understood and heal. And let's normalize men's mental health and making it okay for men to say, I'm not okay. Now, if you know anybody or yourself that's struggling or in a crisis and needs help, in the United States, you can call or text 988 or chat via 988lifeline.org. You are not alone, okay? This is a platform for y'all just to come and speak. All ethnicities, just because you see Black men doesn't mean other ethnicities cannot come on here. Just let you know that this is a safe space to speak. And we will see you next Thursday at 8:15ish.
Okay. 8:15, 8:20, we're gonna be live. But just to be clear, just in reference to next week's show, we have Mr. Dan Jordan. Y'all, this is gonna be a really good show. Make sure that y'all tune in 8:15ish next Thursday. Yeah, he's a hoot. That's all I can say.
You're really gonna enjoy it. Really gonna enjoy it. So we'll see you next Thursday, 8:15ish. Okay. And we're signing out. Love y'all. Logic Over Emotions signing out.
Good night.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, kid.
How many people you have?